The German development bank KFW has offered a 200 million loan to South African power utility Eskom Holdings SOC Ltd to further develop its transmission grid in the Northern Cape and Western Cape provinces. The sovereign loan, part of an $8.5 billion energy transition pact between South Africa and some of the world's richest countries, would enable Eskom to add 2,200 megawatts of renewable energy to the national grid. The German embassy to South Africa said Thursday the advance requires approval from the utility and the National Treasury. Moody's Investor Service upgraded its rating on Eskom's long-term unguaranteed debt to B2 from K1 following the July 5th signing of a law that enabled the National Treasury to provide Eskom with debt relief and the first disbursement of money last month. Moody's also changed the outlook on the debt to stable from positive. Discovery Limited plans to establish a platform that will link South African companies with independent power producers who are selling renewable energy. The medical insurance and financial services provider expects its platform to unlock at least 400 megawatts of additional power supply, and that could climb to as much as 1,000 megawatts. Karpowership has agreed to buy and donate a game farm to a provincial wildlife authority in a bid to ease environmental approval for one of 3 floating gas-fired power the plants it wants to deploy in South Africa. In exchange for the game farm, the Turkish company said that Azemblo KZN Wildlife, which manages protected areas in the eastern KwaZulu-Natal province, has undertaken to not object to its plan for a 450 megawatt ship-mounted power plant at Richards Bay Harbor. Jan Oberholzer, the former chief operating officer of Eskom, has shifted focus from fixing coal-fired power plants to developing clean energy in a new role at South African renewables and producer Molilo Energy Holdings Ltd. Oberholzer has been appointed as a non-executive director and chairman of Molilo's board, according to the company, which is majority owned by Copenhagen Infrastructure Partners. The green power producers has been awarded contracts to develop 910 megawatts of generating capacity and has set a target of building and operating at least 5 gigawatts of wind, solar, and battery projects by 2028. Fixed investment spending in South Africa grew by the most in almost 3 years in the second quarter.
As companies and households invest in alternative energy sources because of persistent power cuts.
A sharp rise in investments in imported machinery and equipment, mostly for electricity infrastructure, led look at gross fixed capital formation to increase by 3.9% in the quarter, compared to with 1.8% in the prior 3 months. Statistics South Africa said in a report released in the capital, Pretoria, that contributed to better than expected gross domestic product growth of 0.6%. In the second quarter,